Balogun, Elliott, Gilmour, who could be this Premier League season's breakout star. Every season, a group of young players takes the first step toward becoming Premier League superstars. BBC Sport has chosen 9 young English Premier League players who have the ability to make an early impact next season. Obviously, there is some speculation here, and we can't reasonably cover every potential young superstar, but feel free to add to this list in the comments section with your own picks and why you think they'll shine next season. Arsenal and their fans have been waiting for one of their promising young strikers to break through and start scoring in the Premier League for several seasons. After signing a new 4-year deal in April, the 20-year-old made his first team debut last season, featuring in 6 games and scoring twice in 5 Europa League matches. He is now projected to be a permanent fixture in the first-team squad. Balogun's 9 goals in 18 Premier League 2 games this season are only a taste of his predatory abilities, and with Arsenal's apparent emphasis on youth, it could be his moment to shine on the big stage. Moises Caicedo, a 19-year-old Ecuadorian midfielder, was reportedly signed for a bargain £4 million by Brighton in the winter transfer window, beating out a number of other European clubs. They could turn to one of their own junior players, 18-year-old forward if a huge trade is due. The son of former Stoke player Gilmour was signed from Derby in 2018 and scored 24 times in 20 under-23 games last season before making his Premier League debut in a Carabao Cup third-round win over Bournemouth. It's rare for a young player, especially a striker, to break into one of the Premier League's truly elite clubs, but if Elliott can accomplish it, it may prove to be a highly cost-effective masterstroke. United manager Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has described the 19-year-old Ivorian as one of the most exciting young prospects in the game right now, and he has already proved why. With 18-year-old midfielder Hannibal Mejbri and 17-year-old Shola Shortire among a bunch of brilliant adolescents, he isn't United's only potential young player. Under Marcelo Bielsa's direction, Leeds United is acquiring a reputation as a team that gives a more straightforward road to first-team football than others in the English Premier League. More than a dozen under-23 players have made their debuts under the Argentines' tutelage, and Cody Dramé, a 19-year-old Fulham signing with a contract expiring in August 2020, might be the next. After supporting the club's elevation to the First Division with 21 dynamism and drive appearances, Dramé also has the club's under-23 Player of the Year title on his mantelpiece. Harvey Elliott appears to have been around for a long time, but that is partly owing to the fact that he debuted in the Premier League for Fulham at the age of 16 years and 30 days. Liverpool signed him with great expectations in July 2019 and has spent years honing him for regular first-team action. He may now be ready to move on after a productive loan spell with Blackburn Rovers last season, in which he scored 7 goals and added 11 assists in 42 appearances. Jurgen Klopp has been praising Elliott this preseason, claiming that the midfielder has impressed more than his usual role as a right-sided forward. Scotland midfielder Billy Gilmour relocated this summer to take the next step toward becoming a Premier League regular. The Canaries have a forward-thinking coach in Daniel Farke and a suitable vacancy in the middle of the park to fill after Oliver Skipp, more on him later, returned to Tottenham following his own successful loan spell last season. He, a 21-year-old centre-back who joined from Chelsea this summer for roughly £18 million, is considered one of the country's most promising players. He has not arrived to take a seat on the bench. After a number of senior first-team veterans left the club, he will line up with other young, promising recent recruits at Selhurst Park, such as strikers Jean-Philippe Mateta and Michael Olise. After a loan spell at Norwich City, Oliver Skipp returned to Tottenham this summer with 45 appearances, a goal and 2 assists, a championship winner's medal, and a slew of positive reviews. The Canaries would have preferred to keep him for another season to aid their transition to the Premier League. There is competition in the middle of the pitch at Tottenham, but with a new manager in Nuno Espirito Santo, everyone has a fresh start, and Skipp has already put in an outstanding preseason performance against Colchester. He has a big season